Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Okay, I am Chandana. I am the lecturer of you, the lesson business system. I think last semester also I did you the business system. This is the same batch. I think last semester we did that accidentally we changed the syllabus. Is it the same batch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. The thing is here in the fourth year first semester, we should go on to do the data communication, right? More than 2 or 3 times I check it. This is the exactly we should go on to do the subject data communication here. However, in your point of view, right? Then check whether with the other ATIs, this is the same one we are doing here, right? However, we completed all the things that last semester. Accidentally, we did it. However, we completed all the relevant things, syllabus, assignments, and other activities. We did it. The same thing also we are going to do this semester, the data communication. Right? Therefore, whatever the materials you collected during that period, keep it on your own place. Right? It will need for the examination and other assignment purposes. Therefore, here also I am doing the same thing. No doubt about that. Those who are missing the last during last semester work, then no problem. In this semester also I am doing the same thing. The attendance is the most important here. You must have I think more than 80% attendance. Therefore, in your responsibilities, maintaining your attendance here, right? Therefore, it is your responsibility. At least you want to join with the session here. Okay. Then last semester, then after that we did the management information part also. I think all of you did the exam. Then I go through the exam papers also. I gave you marks as maximum possible marks to you. I think 2 or 3 students getting the lower than 30 marks, right? The students are nothing writing in the question papers. That is why they're getting the low marks. Only 2 or 3 getting the lower than 20 marks. All the other students getting more than 30. That means all the other students are pass the exam. Right? Therefore, not worry about the exam last time. However, in this time, not like that. Here I'm doing the correct things, exactly the correct things. Therefore, somewhat stricter than the last semester. Therefore, I am giving 2 assignments to complete. Then in the semester in the exam also, then I will mark in it somewhat stricter than the last semester. Right. That's the initial thing I want to discuss with you. If you have any problems, then you can discuss with me like last week, last semester. No hesitations or no doubts, then you can discuss with me any problems, any doubts, any unclear things regarding the lesson. Okay. Then this semester, we should want to start with the data communication part. I think all of you can remember how we started it last semester, right? That one message here. Last time exam was difficult. BS1. I think it is not difficult. We did everything there. However, now it is okay. Already marked it, and I provided the marks also there. Right? No, don't worry about that. Majority of 99% of you are passed the exam. Right. Okay. That we are discussing about the how we started the data communication part last semester. I think all of you can remember that. The similar way, right? I'm following the similar teaching methods to do this subject again here. There are some little differences, that some activities I will change because doing the same activities may be boring for you. Therefore, sometimes I change some activities. Then regarding the notes also, in this time, all the notes I think with you now, right? That last semester we did the same subject. I gave time to complete the notes also. Therefore, I think all your books having the notes. Therefore, no need to write down it again. No need to write down it again. Instead, in this time, I am trying to give in the soft copy of this note to you. Right? The soft copy I will deliver to you in the same time while I am teaching. But this not having some blank, right? Then once you follow the teaching, the things here I am explaining, the same time you can fill it with blank also, right? Then you will understand it while we are starting the lesson. The same time I am delivering the notes to you as a link. I am providing the notes. Then you can, there are some blanks in the note. Then while you learning the things, you can fill out the blanks. Right. Okay. That's the initial thing I want to discuss with you. Any problems? Then you can ask or you can chat with me. Then otherwise I'm going to start the lesson. Yeah, I am using the same set of materials, presentations, activities, the things. Right. I think you can remember this PowerPoint presentation. This is the presentation we started last time. Right. Our subject is data communication. Right. Data communication. The necessary link I will provide while I am teaching. Right. This note I will provide as a link. That wait until I am giving the notes there. Then our subject is data communication. Here we should want to understand the important points under data communication, right? That we know what is data. We know what is data. That earlier we learned more about the data, right? The communication. That the first thing we should want to get idea about what is communication. Just moment, forget about the data. Forget about data, then take the term communication. We should want to get familiar with the term communication. Forget about all the technology things, computer network. Forget about all of these things. Just take the term communication. We should get a good idea about what is communication. Right? Therefore, first we concentrate on communication. Communication is the important, very important. Uh, that mean communicate means actually sending data. That mean messages between two parties. Right? It may be two person or more than two person or group of person. Right? Sharing messages between group of person called communication. This communication is very important. This communication you need in several places, right? At work, when you are in the office, when you are working in that environment, you have to communicate with each other. It may be your boss or your immediate boss or your supervisor, right? Any person. The communication is very important, right? The way of you communicate with each other is depend on your success also, right? Then in the supermarket, right, between your seller, you want to communicate with. Then this communication happen in various places. In maybe your workplace, then supermarket or hospital, with your friend, at school, right? Then different types of communications you want to do with the different type of places or person, right? Your way of communication also you have to change. It depend on the person with you, right? When you are doing communication, that especially concentrate. Look at the diagram here. That speak politely. That one way is consider the point, the speaker point of view. Right? They speak politely, and listener point of view, you should listen the thing respectively. Right? That's the rule you want to follow when communication happen. Right? When it may be two people or group of people there, then speaker speaking, start to speaking, the listener should listen the things respectively. Right? Don't disturb. Then speaker speaking to others, then he or she should be aware with the things given politely. Right? That's the things, rules you want to consider in normal communication. Right. That first I'm going to show a video, 4-minute video there. In that video explaining the communication, giving some idea about initial idea about the communication, and the categories, types of communication also there. Then some examples also explaining in that video. Right. After playing the video, after watching the video, then I will give a link that contain in the notes here. Right. The first visit, watch the video here. Right. Here it is the video here explaining what is communication and more things. Right. 4-minute video. Please watch and listen carefully about this video. Right, that's the end of that video. I think you watch the video carefully here. Right, then while you are doing online things here, don't draw anything on the screen. Someone doing some drawing here, please remove it. Don't do the drawings on the screen, then it disturb for us, right? Therefore, the person who drawing here, then screen, please remove it. Remove the drawing here. And please don't do the things like that for the first time. Therefore, I am removing this one. And then from next time, don't do the things like that. Then it will disturb for us, right? Okay, that according to this video, it explain some important points regarding the communication. Right, then different type of communication, right? Like verbal communication, written communication. Then it also explain what happening. Your communication is poor, ineffective communication. right? Therefore, you want to consider these factors when you are make communication with others, right? Then back to the presentation again. Here the presentation we are discussing about. Okay, then we'll move to the next part here. Here we have in a link, that is the link that earlier explained. This link now I am going to share with you. Right, go to the chat box. This link contained in the today's note, right? Our note here. I am posted it twice in the chat box. Go to the chat box and click on the link. Go to the chat box and click on the link. Once you click on the link, then your note will appear on your screen. Right? This is the exactly the presentation what I am explaining with you. Right? That your point of view. Once you got the link or this note in your computers, then look at the note there. Here you are having some blank. Right? You are having that blank while I am explaining, or I am giving some time period to complete these slides. In that time, you can complete it. Right? While I am explaining, then you want to remember the things here. Then according to your remembering the terms, then you can fill out the blanks here. Right? In that way, this is the first link, first part of the link. Here you are having blanks throughout the note. Once I explain it, and then I am giving time to you complete it. Once I giving the time, then you can complete it now. Right? Therefore, no need to write down everything on your notes. The same note you are having with your books, right? That last semester I explained it. Then in that time I gave time also to write down. Right? The same thing here happening. In this time here having only you want to fill some blanks here. Right. Then I think all of you are get the note on your computers. Now concentrate the presentation here. Right. Here, what is communication? That earlier we get some idea about communication. Here, giving some technical definition for the communication. Here it says act of transferring information. Act of transferring information from one place, person or group to another. Act of transferring information, that is known as communication. Right? This transferring information happen between places, person or group of persons. Right? That is communication. Here in this picture, giving some idea about exchange of information between a group of people or two or more peoples. Exchange of information. Right. Then you want to get idea about the components or elements of the communication. To complete a communication, then what are the elements or components need? Then you want to familiar with these things also. Therefore, in this paragraph explaining most important parts of the communication. Right? If you want to communicate with another person, then what are the necessary parts? Here we are having three necessary parts, three important parts. Without having this one of the part here, you can't make a communication with others. Right. Then look at the parts here. First one, source. Source, then message. The third one, destination. The source means the person who send in the message or person who create the message. Right? Or you can say person who generate the message. Right? That is called source. Right here, it is explaining unit that produce the message. Right, then we can identify person or group of people that engage with generating the message. That is called source. Then message. The second component is message. This message you can send many forms. Mostly you are using text forms or words. Right? These words, in addition to words, there are numbers or pictures, then body language. Even body language also you can use as the message. Right? Here we are discussing normal communication. Right, not related, not don't think about technology things, computers or computer networks. Still we are not getting this part, right? That later we'll discuss. Our main area is that one, data communication. Before that, we should want to get some idea about communication. That is why explaining these things, right? Then third component is destination. Destination is the place where receiving the message. Group of people were receiving the message. Right? Source mean the place where generate the message. Destination mean the place where receiving the message. Right? Then in between the message should send. This message it may be in the form of text or words, in the form of numbers, in the form of pictures or images, or even body language. Right. Then I think you got a clear idea about the communication that earlier I explained in it. I gave a definition there. Communication means act of transmission, transferring information from one place, person or group to another. Then we discuss about the parts of the communication. There are three important parts here: source, message, and destination. Source means the place where generate the message or produce the message. Message mean the particular thing you want to send it. It may be in the form of words, numbers, pictures or images, or even body language. Right. The last element is destination. Destination means the place where receiving the message. Also, it may be a person or group of people. Right, that's the elements we should want to identify in the communication. Right, then move to the next slide. Categories of communication. Right, here we are having different types of categories. Right, way of communicating with each other. In other words, we can say the way of communicating with each other. Then think about what are the methods, what are the available methods to communicate with each other. Then think about that. Right? Then you can communicate with your friend in verbal or spoken. Right? You can use in your mouth. You can speak with each other. You can talk with each other. Right? It is called spoken or verbal communication. Right? Then another way is non-verbal, without using your mouth, your words. Right? That is called non-verbal communication. Right? That later we'll learn in detail about the non-verbal and all of these categories. Until that, remember, non-verbal mean without using your words or voice. Then another common form is written communication. It is also very popular, and most of the people today use that way of communication with each other. Right? You know, the letters. Right? Still, you are writing letters to your friends or any other purposes. That's also way of communication, written communication. Right? Regarding the internet and other things, that all the blogs, type of blogs, web pages, right? All of are written communication. Example for written communication. Then visualization, another way of communication. Visuals, you are using visuals to communicate or giving idea to others. Right. Then, for example, think about road symbols. Right. Then think about the road symbols like the school near you, right? The small, there is a sign with the small children, right? First, look at the symbol when you are traveling on the road. Then once immediately suddenly you look at the symbol, children with the school. That sends you there is a school near you. That's a visual. You are not going to read it, right? From the eye, you are looking at this sign and get idea. No one read it. No one spoken with you, right? That is called visuals. Right. These are the most common way of categories of communication: spoken, non-verbal, written, and visualization. Right. Then before moving to the next slide, then I am going to the activity there that already I sent the link. Right. Open the link now. Right. Already you open with the link. Right. Now try to fill it the blank here. I gave 2 minutes to complete. Try to complete first 2 slides. What is communication and categories of communication? I think you can remember the words need to this blank. Right. Try to fill out it yourself. First, try to fill out it yourself. Then otherwise, after that, I will give the correct words. Right. 2 minutes. From 2 minutes, try to complete it. Time is okay now. I think you are completed that. Then tell me, someone can tell me what's the first one. But the answer for this one, communication is simply what's the answer for here? Hmm? If you are remember that previous explanation, then you can easily write it. What's the answer here?
Act of trans.
Yes, act of transferring information. Act of transferring information. Very good. Right. Those who are not completed, then you can now complete it. Act of transferring information from one place, person, or group of another. Right. Communication consists of 3 main parts. What's the first one? Source. Source. Source means unit that produce the message. Then second one, message. Set of words What's that? Set of words.
Number.
Numbers. Yes, correct. Pictures. What's the last one?
Body language.
Body language. Body language. First one source, message, and then third one destination. Destination. That's the third component of the communication. Destination means the place where receiving the message. Right. Then you can move to the second slide. Here, regarding categories of communication, just we discussed that categories. First one, spoken, or another name for spoken. What is verbal? Verbal communication. That's the first one, verbal. Second one, non-verbal.
Non-verbal.
Non-verbal communication. Third one, written communication. And fourth one, visualization. It's already given here. Right. That's the way. We are doing our lesson here this time. Right. Okay. Now we back to the next slide. From next slide, we are discussing about the categories of communication. Categories of communication. Here, the first category is spoken or verbal communication. Here, we are going to identify more detail about spoken or verbal communication. Right? That here it is easy, very simple methods. Verbal mean communicate with each other using it may be face-to-face communication. Face-to-face mean using your mouth. The person or entity in front of you, you are going to make communication with the entities in front of you, face-to-face. Mostly, it may be two person or group of person, right? Face-to-face, or telephone conversation also under verbal. Telephone conversation. And you know, you using your smartphone or your land phone, you are starting to discuss with your friends. That's also verbal. Using your mouth, you are going to communicate with each other. Radio or television also under verbal, because the person or media behind radio or television, they are giving information through verbal, or using their mouth or verbal, right? Therefore, radio, television, all of this type of media categorized under spoken or verbal communication. Right, here giving some examples, some points here. Advising others, right? That's the type of verbal communication, especially when you are in the working place. When you are in the working place, you can advise your partners, right? Or your boss advise you regarding some tasks. That's the way of communication with your boss. Then giving credits to others, right? Giving credits. If you are doing some good works, then you can appreciate the work, right? Giving some credits. It's another way of communication, mostly happen in your school or working places. Then another example, encouraging employees, right? By giving ideas or stories or experiences, right? Then they can encourage employees regarding or doing works, encouraging. Then training others to carry out some task or role, right? That's also verbal. If you want to train some person regarding some work, to how to do operate a machine, right? Then always you want to instruct them through the verbal or spoken. And these are some examples regarding the spoken or verbal communication. That's the first one. Right. Then second type is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication. That means without using your mouth or words or voice, then how you are going to communicate with each other. Right. Non-verbal covering mostly the body language. Right. Body language, then gestures, how we dress, also way of communicate. Right. That others can get idea by looking at your dressing, type of dressing. Right. That's also communication. Or act, how you are going to act in front of some people. Right. That's also giving some idea about the behavior of you. That's also communication. Right. Then where we stand and even our scent, that our the different type of perfumes we are using, that's also sense to others. Right. The type of which type of people there. Right. Way of standing or sitting in the situations, that's also giving some idea or some idea about us to others. Right. Here giving some example that facial expressions, මුහුණේ ස්වභාවය, right. මුහුණේ ස්වභාවය බලන් ඉඳලා අපිට එයා ඉන්නේ තරහ mood එකකටද happy mood එකකටද ඒ වගේ කියන්න පුළුවන් නේ. We can determine that particular person is in now happy mood or he is angry with something. That facial expression. Then body movement or postures. Right? Then eye contact. Eye contact is very important way of communication, especially in the teacher-student relationship. Right? If you want to point out some particular student, then the eye contact is very important for that type of relationship. Then gestures, especially hand symbols. Right? Suppose I think you know you have some experience regarding the communicate with those who are not speaking, right? That they speak in the weak students, there, right? Then mostly they are using the gestures, type of gestures and body movement or body language to communicate with each other. Right. That here look at some images. This says some facial expressions, right? By looking at the images separately, then they are giving 9 different type of expressions, right? Even I don't know the expression type there, right? Can someone suggest what's the first one here? He is in which situation? Calm, maybe, right? Then second one, surprise. Yes, it may be surprise situation. Then happy mood, the third one. Right. Like that. This angry mood also you have in the last row, the middle one, angry mode. Right. Like that, that's some communication, exchanging some ideas between people by looking at the facial nature of the people. Right. Then look at another picture. Yes, that's body movement and postures, the way of standing. Here in this case, all people are sitting here. The way of sitting, having some idea. They are exchanging some idea for the outsiders. Right. Then the second person who is in the left to second person. Look at the second one here. Right. He is giving idea about sleepy mode. Right. In that way, all of these people giving some idea to the outsiders. That means they are all are sitting, but giving some different ideas. Right. These are called body movement and postures. Then look at this one also, eye contact. Right? Eye contact here also exchanging some information between, it may be some supervisor or employee or boss or another operator level employee. Right? Then they are giving some exchanging some information using eye contacts. Then look at this one, gestures, hand symbols, especially use your hand to giving some ideas to others. Right? Those are called gestures. Here having more gestures, they are giving some meaning, right? Through these gestures here. Right? Then try to get to understand the meaning of these different type of gestures by looking at the internet. You can get the meaning of these different type of hand symbol here. Right, that's about non-verbal communication. Look at this slide also. Third category of communication called written communication. Right, written communication. That earlier we learned verbal communication, then non-verbal communication, then third one written communication. Right? By write down something on a paper, you can giving your idea to others. That's that's also a very old method, written communication. Right? Normally, letters is a good example. You can put your ideas on a piece of paper and then you can pass it to your required person, relevant person. That's called letter. Right? By without meeting with each other. Right? Using written communication, you can communicate your ideas with others without meeting with each other. Right? No need, not necessarily close with each other. Right? If you are in your home, then your partner may be in another place in the country, remote place in the country. Right? Then you can write down something on the paper, then you can just send it. Right? Right? It may be email. You are through the email that immediately you can send your idea to the another person in written form. Right? Or social media. I think all of you are using the social media. Right? In written form, that example, suppose that chat mode, you are normally chatting with each other. How you are going to chat? Using typing. Always you are typing. That means written communication. Right? Then books, magazine, and the internet. Right? If you are regarding the internet, mean website and blogs, especially we can consider blogs and internet. These are written forms. Right. That's about written communication. Then we'll discuss the other category also, visual communication. Visual communication. Right? What is visual meaning? They are using that earlier I introduced something regarding the visual communication, symbols or pictures, images, animation, graphics. All of these are example for visual communication. By looking at animations or graphics, pictures, symbols, we are communicate something. Right? That best example is road symbol. Right? When you are driving a vehicle or when you are walking along the road, then you want to follow these signs. Right? Then okay, look at the note here. Visual communication is the use of visual elements to convey ideas and informations. The visual elements mean here in yellow color highlighted, you can see all the visual elements. It may be signs. Signs mean it may be road symbol, road signs. Then typography, right? typography means different styles of text, right? Different styles of text. Typography. Then drawing, there are many type of drawings available, especially prehistory information. If you are if you want to if you want to get the prehistory information, especially you are observing the drawings. By looking at the drawings, you are getting some idea about ancient nature. Then graphics or graphic design, illustrations, industrial design, advertising, animation, electronic resources. These are some example for visual elements. Visual elements. Right. Then look at some images. Here giving the set of road symbols, road signs here. Then here also having some symbols, common symbols here. Some that mean here this red color cross mark for hospitals. Then no parking symbol here, right? Then dustbin, washrooms, no cigarette, like that. They are not going to write these things, giving the idea through the symbols, right? Then here that earlier I mentioned it, prehistory information, right? Normally the person who are living in very long ago, right? Then they are communicate their ideas through drawings. They are always trying to draw something in their in walls, right? This is something like that here. By looking at this drawing also, you can get some idea about the nature of that people, right? Here another way of visual element. This is called map, right? Map representing map with some colors, representing there are some colors, some regions they are representing through the colors, right? That's also a way of communication through the visuals, right? Then look at this one also. Then what's that? Can someone tell me the name of this visual? It's in the list also. Then yellow color highlighted ones are the list visual elements. These are the example for visual elements. Then what's this one? Can someone suggest what's this one? This one is called
Industrial design. Industrial design.
no, not industrial design here.
Advertising.
No, not advertising also. This one, typography. Typography means they are trying to give an idea through the text by different styling. They are using different styles through to give in the ideas. Right? This is example for typography. Right, that's about visual communication. Here we are discussing about the categories of communication. We identified four categories of communication. First one, spoken or verbal. Second one, non-verbal. Third one, written communication. The fourth one, visual communication. Right. I think you can remember the four way of categories. Based on these categories, try to complete the visual communication. Under visual communication, here another one, in the typography, another one here. Right, that's also a way of communication. Right. Animation, that can be categorized under animation. Using their hand, he trying to giving something to others. Right. That's the example for animation, right? Right, now back to the our activity part. Open your, I think already open it. Now go to the activity sheet. Right. Now try to complete next 4 slides: spoken, non-verbal, written, and visual. Right. I will give here 4 minutes to complete too. Right. Try to complete it now. Start it now. Right. Okay. I think you finish filling the blanks in these activities. Try to complete with me now. This includes, can remember what the item here? Telephone, radio, or television. That one more. Face to face, yes, correct. Face to face. Right. Then examples and examples. The first one, advising. Advising others, giving credits to others. Here, encouraging. Encouraging employees, training others. Right? All of these example for verbal communication. Because of verbal communication, you can advise to others, or you can give in credits, or you can encouraging your employees, others, right? Or you can conduct training sessions. All of this happen because of verbal communication. Right. Then move to the second slide here, non-verbal communication, uh, covering what?
Body language.
Body language, yes. Body language, gestures, how we dress or act, where we stand, and even ourselves. The example, expressions. Which expression here? Facial. Muhune subhave. Facial expression, body movement, and postures. Here, what is it? Can remember?
Eye contact.
Eye contact. Eye contact, gestures, and the last one, touch. Right. These are the example for non-verbal communication. Non-verbal mean without using your speaking abilities, mouth, right? Then made communication without using your speaking abilities. That is non-verbal. It may be as in the form of body language. That means you are using body parts to communicate with each other, or gestures, or way of your dressing. Right? These are the some example for non-verbal communication. Right. Then written communication. Right here, what are the example which include letters, email, what's that?
Social media.
Social media, yes, correct. Social media, books, magazine, the internet. Today we can all write and publish our ideas. Ideas,
Online.
yes, online, which has led to an what?
Explosion.
Explosion of information. That's good. Okay, your remembering skills is very good. Even sometimes I can't remember that the exact word. Your remembering skills is excellent, right? Okay, very good. Then next one, visual communication. Here having more blanks to fill. Visual communication is the use of what?
Visual elements.
Use of visual elements. Elements to convey ideas and information which include but are not limited to. What's the first one? Can you remember the first element? Sign. Typography, drawing, graphic, design, What's that?
Illustration.
Illustrations, yes. Illustrations, industrial design, advertising, animation, and which resources? Electronic resources. Humans have used visual communication since what?
Prehistoric.
Prehistoric times. Right. That's the end of our types of categories of communication. Right. Then we'll back to again presentation. Right. Next part, communication process. Communication process. Right. Under this section, we are going to identify how exactly the communication happen. It is very important when you are learning the computer communication. Right. Now we are reaching to data communication part. Right. Now we have simple idea about communication, part of communication, then categories of communication. Now we are going to learn the process of communication. The process, we are going to learn the process of communication because we need to understand the communication, computer communication. Right? Just we are talk with each others, but we are don't think about how this communication happen. Actually, how happening, right? We are not considered that one. Here we are going to learn this communication process. That communication is sent by the sender. That earlier we learned. Sender is the place where message produced. Sender through communication channel. Communication channel to a receiver or multiple receivers. Right. That earlier we learned these three parts: sender, message, and receiver. But this time we are not mentioned message. Instead, communication channel. Right. You are sending the message through the communication channel. Through the communication channel. Therefore, the device we need the communication channel. To establish a communication between two persons, we need the sender, the person who sending the message. We need a receiver, the person who receive the message. And also, we need the way of sending the message. That is called communication channel. For example, suppose you are starting a telephone conversation. Then tell me the three elements. Right? You start a telephone conversation with your friend. Then what are the three elements here? Who is the sender? You. Because you are starting the telephone. You are dialing the number. Then who is the receiver? Receiver, your friend. Right? Friend is the receiver. Then what is the communication channel? The communication channel is the device that sends in your message. Right? In a telephone conversation, what's the communication channel? Communication channel එක මොකක්ද? මම ඇහුවේ ඕගොල්ලෝ ඔයා ටෙලිෆෝන් කෝල් එකක් ගන්නවා ඔයාගේ යාළුවට. මෙතන සම්බන්ධ වෙන මේ parts තුන communication process එකේ එන parts තුන මොකක්ද? sender කවුද? sender තමයි මම. නැත්තම් ඔයා කියලා කිව්වේ sender. receiver තමයි යාළුවා. එයානේ පණිවිඩය ලබන කෙනා. එහෙනම් receiver. communication channel එක මොකක්ද? කොහොමද message එක යන්නේ?
Telephone.
telephone එක. නැත්නම් smartphone. Telephone or smartphone is the communication channel. Right. Then look at the diagram here. Here this diagram explains all the component, all the part of the communication process. Right. Start from the left corner. Here having the sender. Sender start sending the message. Right. Message that after releasing the message from the sender, it should be we are calling that encoding. The message should be encoded. Encode means preparing the message that's suitable to send. Encode means it start preparing the message that's suitable to send. Message එක යවීම සුදුසු යවන්න සුදුසු විදියට සූදානම් කරලා දෙනවා. ඒක තමයි encoding කියන්නේ. send තමයි message එක ඔන්න පටන් ගන්න message එක යවන්නේ send. message එක යවනකොට එයා ඒක encode කරනවා කියලා එකක් කරනවා. encode කියන්නේ යවන්න සුදුසු විදියට සූදානම් කරනවා. The message is preparing that suitable to send it. Encode. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අර channel එක හරහා යවන්න පුළුවන්. After that only that particular message sending through the channel. Then it reach recipient. But before reaching the recipient, it should be decoded. Right? That inspect the status of recipient. Recipients are ready to accept the message. අර එවන message එක පිළිගන්න සූදානම්ද නැද්ද කියලා තීරණය කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි decode කරනවා කියන්නේ. දැන් සාමාන්‍ය example එක අර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු example එක හිතන්න think about the example that earlier I mentioned. Telephone conversation. Telephone conversation. Right. දැන් ඔන්න message එක යවන්න හිතනවා. අපි හිතමු කවුරු හරි පුද්ගලයෙක්. තමන් කියලා හිතන්න ඔයා ඔන්න හිතනවා. message එක යවන්න. මොකද encode කරනවා කියන්නේ? යවන්න සුදුසු විදියට message එක සූදානම් කරනවා. Message is preparing suitable to send. යවන්න සුදුසු විදියට සූදානම් කරනවා. ඔන්න dial කරනවා නේද? message එක ඔන්න පටන් ගන්න අපි hello කියලා පටන් ගන්නවා. එහෙම දැන් අපි හිතනවා කොහොමද දැන් මේ dial කරායින් පස්සේ යාළුවා උස්සනවනේ ටෙලිෆෝන් එක උස්සපුවාම ඔන්න අපි පටන් ගන්නවා. හලෝ කොහොමද? වහිනව නේද මේ දවස්වල? ඔන්න දැන් ඒක encode කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ channel එක හරහා යනවා decode. ඔන්න යාළුවා දැන් අපි ring කරපුවාම සද්ද ඇහෙනවනේ. ringing tone එක යනවා. ඒතර එයා ඒක පිළිගන්න සූදානම්ද නැද්ද කියන එක තමයි decode කරන්නේ. ඒතර එතනදී ටෙලිෆෝන් එක තියෙන දුර ටෙලිෆෝන් එක කාමරේ ඉඳලා කුස්සිය වැඩක් කරගෙන ඉන්නේ. එතකොට දුවගෙන එන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අන්න එතකොට ඩිකෝඩ් වෙනවා කියන්නේ ඒ ටික. පිළිගන්න සූදානම් වෙනවා. ඒ විදිහට එයා අන්තිමට යාළුවා ඔන්න ටෙලිෆෝන් එක උස්සනවා. ඒ process ටික තමයි යන්නේ. sender, encode, channel, decode, receive. ඒතර යාළුවා උස්සපුවාම feedback එක ආපහු ඒ ටිකමයි එන්නේ. encode ආයේ අවසානයේ ඉඳලා encode, channel, decode, sender. Right? In between there are some barriers also. When you are sending message from your location to recipient location, there are some barriers in between. Yeah. It may be signal barriers. Right? The weather condition, if the weather condition is bad, then your signals are not properly sending. That's a barrier, technical barrier. Right. Okay, that's the steps we should want to identify in the communication process. Right. That it is, look at this diagram here. Right, that another diagram, I will explain this process in clearly with that diagram. It is coming later, right? Not the next slide. Look at the next slide here. Communication process that here explaining channel. Channel is the method used to transmit our message to recipient. It says the channel is a method that used to transmit our message to recipient. It's that example. There are some example here you can see in the blue color highlighted points. It says examples for channel. Then look at the first one, face-to-face conversation. That earlier I given the example telephone call. Suppose you have no telephone, then how you are going to communicate the person in front of you? That's face-to-face. Then telephone calls. That's earlier I mentioned it. Another way of channel. Right? Through the telephone, then another way, text messages. Right? Another way of channel, text message. Email, another channel. Right? The internet. Internet, if you are identified internet as a channel, then in the internet there are many methods. Social media, especially social media such as Facebook or Twitter. Then radio, TV, written letters, brochures. These are called communication channels. Letter may be a communication channel. නේද? අපි ලියන letter එක ලියුම. ඒක තමයි channel එක ලියුම. ඒ විදිහට identify කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. සාමාන්‍ය sannivedana ක්‍රියාවලිය තුල දක්නට ලැබෙන channels මාධ්‍යයන් තමයි ඔය අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න. සාමාන්‍ය sannivedana ක්‍රියාවලිය තුල දක්නට ලැබෙන දත්ත sannivedana මාධ්‍ය channels කීපයක් තමයි ඔය අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. face to face වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ටෙලිෆෝන් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, text message එකක්, email එකක්, internet කිව්වම ඔක්කොම social media වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අනිකුත් තාක්ෂණික උපකරණ රේඩියෝ, TV වගේවා වගේම written documents, brochures වගේ දේවලුත් communication channel විදිහට identify කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right. ඊළඟට අපි යන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා අර try to complete the activity. We are discussing about communication process. Right, here having 2 slides. If you are complete these 2 slides here, then you finish the activity 1. Then I will send you another link for second activities. Right, now try to complete these 2 communication process number 1 and number 2, these 2 slides. Right, complete it. I give 3 minutes to complete.
Sir,
Okay, wait, what's
communication process channel තියෙන slide එක චුට්ටක් දානවා.
communication channels?
Channel communication process තියෙන්නේ slide එක.
මේ slide එකද ඉස්සෙල්ලා?
Oh, sir, thank you.
Right. Right, look at this one. Then look at the previous one also. Right. Then open your activity. Right. Now try to complete that one within 2-3 minutes. Try to complete it.
Encode.
මේ activity එක තියෙන්නේ මේ drag and drop කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. මේ යට තියෙනවා වාක්‍ය ටික වචන ටික barriers sender කියලා ඒවා අවශ්‍ය තැනට කියලා drag and drop කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. මේක ලියන්න උත්සාහ කරන්න එපා මේ blank එකේ. Right, complete now. Right, I think now you completed the activity here. Look at the first one. Message or communication is sent by the sender. It should be sender through communication. What? Communication channel.
Yeah.
Communication channel to receiver or multiple receivers. Right, now try to drag and drop the relevant words with this diagram. You can complete from the left corner. You can start from the left corner. What's the item here? Device. Sender. Yes, sender. Then second one.
Encode.
Encode. This one. Channel. Right. Then decode. Finally, recipient. Then in between sender and recipient, there are barriers. Right. Then we'll move to the next slide. Channel is the method used to what?
Transmit.
Transmit our messages to a
Reception.
transmit our messages to
Recipient.
recipient. Right. Then we'll recipient. Right, recipient. There are multiple communication channels available to us today. These include first one,
Face to face.
face to face. Conversation, telephone call, text messages, email, the internet, radio. here I think it's not allowed to type in here. It should be in radio and TV. What's the answer here?
Write in letters.
Yes, written letters. Written letters. Right here it should be radio and written letters, right? But in this case, they are not allowing to write in answers here. No problem. Remember, this blank should be the first one radio, the other one written documents. Right. Okay, that's the end of our first session, communication process part. Right. Communication process here. Before we move into the next slide, I am going to share the second link, the same type of link, activity 2. Right, go to chat box. Now click on the link just I shared. I posted it 2 times. Click on the link just I shared with you through the chat box. Now you can close the previous one. Now you want to open the new activity sheet. It will open. Until it opening, then I am going back to our lesson. Right, then look at this slide here, communication process that earlier I explained in encode, decode, and feedback. Right, that encode mean that earlier I explained in it, they are going to prepare the message that's suitable to send in, that's suitable to go through the communication channel. Communication channel එකක් හරහා යන්න සුදුසු පරිදි message එක සූදානම් කිරීම. දැන් තමයි encode කියන්නේ. Encode meaning they are going to prepare the message that's suitable to go through the communication channel. That is called encode. Right? There are some examples also you can see within bracket there. It may be shortened form. Right? Especially if you are using text messages. Right? If your message go as a text messages, then normally you are using shortened forms. Then it may be letter form, news form, radio broadcasting form. Right? These are some examples for encoding methods. Then decoding. The decoding means the recipient should prepare to accept the message. Right? It may depend on various factors. Within bracket here, look at the second paragraph here in yellow, green color. It depends on, there are some dependent factors here. Psychological state, place, or time. Right? According to these factors, that particular message, they are thinking, they are determined that particular message is accepted or not. Right? Their psychological state is bad, then in that time, they are not going to accept the message. Right? They are saying later. Call me later. That normally you hear the message, call me later. Most probably, call me later. That message coming because of their psychological state is not suitable to accept the message. Right, like that, place and time also another useful factors. It depend on because of the place or time, they are not prepared to accept the messages. Right, this accepting messages called as the decoding. Then feedback. Right? The feedback coming after you accept the message, then you want to inform that particular message is accepted. That means responding. You want to respond to the sender. Right here, that in last in blue color highlighted part says the final part of the communication is feedback. The recipient lets the sender to know they have received and understood the message. Message එක මට ලැබුණා කියලා දැනුම් දීම තමයි feedback කියලා කියන්නේ. දැන් එක response කරපුවාම feedback එක එනවා. Right. එතකොට ඔය අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා diagram එක that previous that's here explaining the term based on that diagram. You want to you will be able to define these terms: encode, decode, and feedback. Right. Now look at the diagram here. Example. I am going to explain in an example to understand these terms very clearly. And then first look at the diagram here. Sender. Sender means the person who produced the message. No, the person who generate the message. Right. Suppose left corner having the sender. Sender is now going to send a letter. His idea is sending the message through the letter. ලියුමක් කරහා message එකක් යවන්න තමයි sender බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. Right. That's why it says a letter. දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ඔන්න letter එක තමයි message එක විදිහට identify කරන්නේ letter. Right. Letter can be identified as message. Right. ඔන්න letter එක යවනවා. They start to send in the letter. The first thing is it should be encoded. The letter should be encoded. That means the letter you want to prepare that's suitable to send in through the communication channel. Communication channel එකක් හරහා යෑමට සුදුසු පරිදි අර letter එක සූදානම් කරන්න ඕනේ. Encoding. That is called encoding. Right? එහෙනම් මොකද කරන්නේ අපි? What are the things we want to do with this letter? Right? Here giving the meaning. Prepare the letter suitable to go through the channel. It should be communication channel. Letter එක අපි සූදානම් කරනවා කියලා මොනවද කරන්නේ? මේ තියෙන ඒ ටික. Right? These are the things we do with the letter to prepare. Address එක ලියන්න ඕනේ. Addressing. Start කරන්න ඕනේ. Starting. Then first paragraph එක ලියන්න ඕනේ. Last paragraph. Then ending. ලියුමක් end කරන විදියක් තියෙනවා. encoding කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ ටික කරනවා. කියන්නේ මේ ටික කරපුවාම තේ communication channel එකක් කරහා අපිට යවන්න පුළුවන්. After doing these things, then only you can send the letter through the communication channel. Right. After encoding the letter, now it is suitable to going through the communication channel. Communication channel. Then මොකද්ද communication channel? What is the what are the examples can you identify as a communication channel? That means what are the devices available to send in the letter? ඔයාගේ letter එක දැන් සූදානම් encoding. කොහොමද යවන්නේ? post එක හරහා යවන්න පුළුවන්. Right? It can be sent in through normal post, or you can fax it. You can use the fax machine as the communication channel, or you can email it. Right? Then there are many forms of communication channels available. Here giving some example, you can send your letter in normal post, or you can send it as an email, or you can fax it, or phone message also you can use it. If it is a short letter, then phone message also okay. Right. That's regarding communication channel. Right. Once you send in through the communication channel, now it is reaching to destination. It is reaching to destination. That means receiver. Now the receiver should prepare to accept the letter. Receiver should prepare to accept the letter. To accept the letter, the receivers depend on different factors. There are some factors. According to these factors, the receiver says that letter is accepted or not. Normal post එකේ දැම්මා නම් ලියුම එන වෙලාවට receiver ගෙදර ඉන්න ඕනේ. accept කරන්න. time on a time and place. ලියුම ගෙදර එන වෙලාවට psychological states හොඳ වෙන්න ඕනේ. psychological states කියන්නේ මානසික තත්ත්වය, මනෝභාවය. psychological states. ඒවා හොඳ වුණොත් තමයි අර ලෙටර් එක ඇක්සෙප්ට් කරන්නේ. එහෙනම් අර normal post එකේ ලියුම් කාර්යය ඇවිල්ලා බෙල් එක ගහනවා ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ. psychological state අවුල් නැහැ. එතකොට ඇක්සෙප්ට් කරන්න. ඊට ඒ වගේ ඒකට අපි කියන decode කියලා. decoding. right? decoding කියන්නේ prepare the letter suitable to accept the receiver. Prepare the letter suitable to accept by receiver. Right? Finally, you can see at the right corner receiver accept the letter based on these decoding factors. Psychological state, place, time and content. Right. I think you got a clear idea about the communication process by looking at this example here. Right, okay. Now, before moving to the next slide, try to complete that activity. Right, now open your new link that earlier I asked you to complete it. I asked you to open it. Right, now try to complete this first and second slide. If you want to see it again, the slides that I am showing, the slide we discussed here. Then just look at here. Encode, decode, and feedback. Then second one, then look at the diagram here. Sender, letter is the message. Then should encoding mean preparing the letter suitable to go through channel. Encoding, way of encoding the letter, addressing start first para, then communication channel. Example for communication channels, normal post, email, fax, like that. Then decoding need. Decoding mean prepare the letter suitable to accept by receiver. Here it is receiver accept the letter according to decoding factors. Right, now try to complete the activity. I will allow you to 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, try to complete. Right, okay, I think you finish completing the activity, these two slides here. Then try to tell me the first one. All messages must be what? All messages must be
Encoded.
encoded into a form that can be conveyed by the
Communication channel.
communication channel. Very good. Communication channel chosen for the message. Right. Then look at the second paragraph, decode. Once receive, the recipient need to decode the message. Successful decoding is also vital. Communication skill depend on what the factors. First one,
Psychological state.
psychological factor state, psychological state, comma, place and time. Right. Then feedback, the final part of communication is feedback. The recipient lets the sender know that they have what?
Receive.
That they have received and understand the message. Receive and understood the message. Right. Then look at the second, here the diagram that earlier I explained it. Right. According to that, then try to fill the blanks here. Here you can fill the blank. First one here, sender. Sender preparing the letter. It is called message. Then it should be encode. Encode means preparing the letter suitable to go through the channel. Then what's the term here? Encode. Right. Then encoding, when letter is encoding, then encoding mean what? It should be addressing, then start the letter, first paragraph, last paragraph. Then you want to decide ending also. Ending the then communication channel. Then tell me the two examples here. The first one,
Normal post.
normal post. Normal post, email, fax, and phone messages. Right. Then preparing, through the communication channel, then before accepting it, decode. Before accepting the letter, it should decode. Before accepting who? Receiver. Right. Receiver should accept the letter according to decoding factor. According to decoding factor. Right. That first one, psychological factor. Psychological state or factor. Then place, time. Then what's the last one?
Content.
Content. Right. That's the terms you have to use to fill the blanks in this diagram. Right. I think you got the clear idea about the communication, regarding communication from these slides here. Right. Up to now, we discussed about normal communication. That early in the lesson here today, we identify what is communication. Then parts of the communication, as a part of communication, we identify source, message, and destination. Then we identify the categories of communication. There are 4 categories we identified: verbal, non-verbal, written, and visualization, like that. Then we concentrated on communication process. Especially this communication process having with 3 important terms: encoding, communication channel, and decoding. Right? We learned the difference between these terms using the diagram. This is the diagram now you can see in the screen. Through this diagram, you can clearly understand the differences between the sender, communication channel, and the receiver. Right. Here we learn the simple things regarding the communication, normal communication. Right. Then next thing is we should want to understand the computer communication. Computer communication. Actually, this is the time start our lesson. Right. This is the thing we are going to learn in detail in this semester. Computer or data communication. Then initially we should want to identify what is computer communication. Therefore, the next slide concentrate on computer communication. Right. Then I am moving to the next slide. Look at the slide here. Computer communication. Right. That here the term computer, that already we know what is computer. Therefore, we can suggest it. What is computer communication? Computer communication means the communication happen or exchanging data or transferring data or information between computers. It may be 2 computers or more than 2 computers. So set of computers. This is called computer communication. And here it defined as data transfer between 2 computers or set of computers is known as computer communication. That's the first idea we should want to identify, we should want to understand regarding the computer communication. That means to establish computer communication, you must need computers. You must need at least 2 computers or set of computers. Right. Then think about how data travels from one computer to another computer. Think about how data going through one computer to another computer. Normally the 2 computers are available in 2 different locations. That's a remote location, not near you. Right? Suppose if it is near you, then how you traverse data from one location to another? Computers දෙකක් තැන් දෙක තියෙනවා. එක තැනක තියෙන කම්පියුටරේ දත්ත ටික අනිකට යවන්න ඕනේ. කොහොමද යන්නේ? පේනවද යනවා අපිට? එක කම්පියුටර් එකේ තියෙන දත්ත ටික ඔන්න ඒ දත්ත ටික කම්පියුටරෙන් එළියට ඇවිල්ලා අවකාශය ඔස්සේ ටික ටික එහාට ගිහිලා ඊළඟ කම්පියුටරයට යනවා. අපිට පේනවද එහෙම යනවා? පේන්නේ නැහැ. එහෙනම් කොහොමද යන්නේ? How traverse data from one location, one computer to another? මේ data එක තැනක තියෙන data ටික අනිත් කම්පියුටරයට ගිහින් දාන්නේ කවුද? ඒකට තමයි අපි signal කියලා කියන්නේ. signal. මේ signal හරහා තමයි එක කම්පියුටර් එකේ තියෙන data ටික තව කම්පියුටර් එකට ගිහිල්ලා දාන්නේ. සාමාන්‍ය කම්පියුටරෙන් හැදෙන data වලට අපි කියනවා digital data. The data produced by computers are known as digital data. This digital data carries using signals. This digital data carries using signals. There are 2 types of signals. Here we should want to identify the types of signals, mainly 2 types of signal, analog and digital signals. These are the important points you want to understand from this slide. Computer communication, digital data, signal, and signal types. Then we'll move to the next one. Here you want to get idea about types of signal. Types of signal. Here the first one, analog. Analog signal also known as continuous wave. Continuous mean no breakdowns, right? That continually going with the time. Right? With the time, no breakdowns in between. Therefore, continuous wave. Right? Example, the best example is human voice. Human voice. Then thermometer, analog phones are some other examples, but the best example is human voice. Then remember that point, analog signal always going through the air. Right? Going through the air. Analog signals are not created by the computers. It is not digital. Therefore, between transferring data between computers, in that case, they are using digital signals, not analog. But the transferring data between two humans, they are using analog signals. These analog signals, they diagrammatically we can identify that earlier I mentioned it. It is continuous wave. That means no breakdowns in between. When time passes, the signal also continuously traveling. That's like a sine wave, right? That's called analog signal. Right. Then digital signal is like that. That's different from the analog signal. Different type of waves here. They have some breakdowns in between. When time passes, the signal is not continuously going. There are some breakdowns. Right? Therefore, it's also known as discrete signals or discrete values. That means always these signals travel in two states. The one is state 1, the other one is 0. මේ සිග්නල් එක ගමන් කරන්නේ ස්ටේට්ස් දෙකක. යම් කාලයක් බිඳුවේ යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ යම් කාලයක් එකේ යනවා. තව ස්ටේට් එකක්. ආයේ බිඳුවට පයින්නවා. බිඳුවේ යම් කාලයක් යනවා. ආයේ එකපාරටම එකට යනවා. එකේ යම් කාලයක් ඉන්නවා. ආයේ එකපාරටම යනවා බිඳුවට. බිඳුවේ යම් කාලයක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ ඉන්න කාලය වෙනස් වෙනවා. නමුත් අර බිඳුව සහ එකේ තමයි ගමන් කරන්නේ. හැම වෙලෙම එකේවත් හැම වෙලෙම බිඳුවේවත් ගමන් කරන්නේ නැහැ. මෙන්න මේ ආකාරයට යන සිග්නල්ස් වලට තමයි කියන්නේ ඩිජිටල් සිග්නල්ස් කියලා. දැන් කම්පියුටර්ස් වලින් නිකුත් වෙන්නේ හැම වෙලෙම ඩිජිටල් සිග්නල්. ෆෝන් වලිනුත් එහෙමයි. හරි ඕනෑම ඩිජිටල් ඩිවයිස් එකකින් නිකුත් වෙන්නේ ඩිජිටල් සිග්නල්ස්. Here are the things we should want to understand under computer communication. Computer communication means transferring data between computers. Computers always produce digital signal. Normally, these digital signals carries from one location to another location using signals. There are two types of signals: analog signals and digital signals. Analog signals produced by human. Human voice is a good example for analog signals. But computers are not produced the analog. Instead they are produced digital signals. Therefore, always the transferring data between computer to computer happen through the digital signals. Right, now try to complete that next 3 slide activities. Open your activity sheet. Right. Try to complete computer communication, this first one, type of signal, analog and digital. try to complete these 3 slides here. I will give 3 minutes to complete. Right. Okay. I think you finish fill in the blank in the slides here. Try to answer with me. Data transfer between what? Between data transfer between,
Two computers.
yes, two computers or set of computers is known as computer communication. Computer communication. Or here also data communication, it termed as data communication, but we learned it separately, data communication, right? Here, communication between two computers known as computer communication. Okay. Data communication is the same thing, but little differences that we'll learn in next. Right? Our next topic is data communication. Right. The data produced by computers are known as what? Digital data. It needs signal electric fields, another name for signal electric fields. Signals to, it needs in signals to
Carry.
carry data from one location to another. There are two types of signals. What are that? First one,
Analog.
yes, analog signal. Second one, digital signal. And then move to next slide. Analog signals are which wave? Here we gave special name for that. No breakdowns. When time pass, no breakdowns in these signals, this type of signals. Therefore, it is known as what? Which signal? Can someone tell me?
Continuous.
Yes. Continuous signal or continuous wave signals that change with time period. Examples of analog signals are, what's the good best example?
Human voice.
Yes, human voice. Thermometer and analog also, analog phones are the examples for analog signals. Right. Then next slide in digital signals. Here says digital signal is a signal that is being used to represent data as a sequence of what?
Discrete.
Discrete. Discrete signals or discrete values at any given time. It can only take what?
1 or 0.
One or 0. Example of digital signals are computers,
Smartphones.
Digital pens. These are some examples for digital signals. Right. That's about signal types. Then we'll move to the term data communication. That here we learn the term computer communication. Right. Then we'll see the difference. That's little difference there. Then we'll try to identify the difference, these computer communication and the data communication. Right. Then look at the slide here. Data communication. Right. Data communication. Here the communication is still remaining the same meaning. Communication means exchanging data. Then data communication. Data communication means exchange in the data between digital devices. Data transfer between digital devices. That computers are not only the device that produce digital data. Right? There are some other devices that nowadays we consider technological devices. If you consider all the technology devices, all of these devices are digital. Right? Now you know there are various type of devices. That mean laptop computers, then tab, then notebook, then digital assistant, digital watch, digital TV, right? There are many types of devices available. All of these devices are produce digital signals or digital data. Therefore, the term come data communication. The data communication means data transfer between digital devices. Digital devices. That example here include computers or smartphones. There are many other devices also. Earlier I mentioned it. Right. Then again, data communication. Again, explain it. Exchange of data between two devices via some of transmission channel. We are discussing about the data communication, right? That again, I am showing you to the presentation here. Data transfer between digital devices is known as data communication. Also, the data communication can be identified as the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission channel. It is that important, that term, that earlier when we discussed about the communication, right? In that case, communication channel we identified. Communication channel, that normal post we identified as communication channel, then email or fax machine. Those are the some of the normal communication channel in normal communication. But in the data communication, again, we need the transmission channel. That is called transmission channel. This transmission channel is network system. Right? That later I will explain through a diagram. Then you will understand clearly what is this transmission channel. Here, however, here you want to understand what is data communication. Right? Data communication means exchange data between digital devices. Computer communication use only computers, but in this case, data communication, they are using digital devices in any digital device. Right. Then move to next diagram, next slide here. It explains the parts of the data communication system. Right. That earlier we identified what is data communication. That here in this diagram explain the devices or parts or elements need to establish a data communication system. Right. Already you know some of the term here. That start from the left corner. Here there is a computer like device you can see here. This is the place where send in information. Right? That earlier we identified under normal communication, we identified as a sender. In the data communication, this device is called source device. Source device mean the device that send in the data or produce or generate in the data. This source may be any digital device. Right here, having some examples under source, it may be a computer, a smartphone, tab, or computer server. Any digital device. This source may be any digital device. That workstation also a type of digital device. And in this diagram, this left corner device known as workstation. Workstation is a type of source device. Right. Then this digital device, always that earlier we identified, always produce digital data. This digital data travel through using digital signal. Right. Then in this diagram, first you can identify this workstation source device. This source device sending digital signal. But digital signals are not able to travel through the air. Therefore, this need to convert analog signals. This computer or workstation produce digital signals, but digital signals are not be able to going through the air. Only the analog signal is capable of going through the air or network channel. Therefore, it need to convert this digital signal into analog signals. Therefore, this diagram uses a special device called modem. This modem, the task of the modem is converting digital signals into analog signals. Now, this analog signal can be going through the network channel. This network channel may be one of the item here, one of the network type here. It may be a local area network, wide area network, radio broadcasting, microwave network, right? These are called type of network. Network channel may be one of the network type here. Right? These analog signals are capable of going through this network channel. However, finally, in the destination, at the right corner, there is another device called server. Normally, this destination location known as receiver. The normal communication also, we identified the destination as a receiver. The same name here we can identify receiver. Receiver is the station where receiving the information. It must be also a digital device. It may be a computer, smartphone, tab, or server, any digital device. Right? Then at the end also, this digital device understand only digital signal. This analog signal should convert again into the digital. Therefore, another modem they are using at the end. Right. In addition to these component, another special component you can see in yellow color. In both end, you can see this item called protocol. Both devices having. Actually, all the devices in the network should have this protocol. Then only data communication can happen properly. Otherwise, data communication may be trouble. The protocol actually, simply we can say protocol is a set of rules that can be followed in the network. Each and every devices in the network should follow same set of rules. Then only they can send in or share in information properly. This same set of rule we can insert to the devices as a software. That is called computer protocol or protocol. Right. These are the basic components should have in the data communication system. Right. Here you have to remember what is source, then network channel, then receiver, modem, and protocol. 5 components there. Right. Then move to the next slide here. Here explaining what we described you in this table. Left hand column giving the element, then right hand column giving the description of each element. Right, that earlier I explained it. Workstation mean generate or send in station. That is the station where generate the data. Workstation within bracket sender and source. Actually, the technical term here is source. Then destination location known as receiver. That is the station where receive the messages. Then network channel. Network channel, the purpose of network channel is determine the path from source to destination. Determine the path from source to destination. Then signals, that already we know what is about signal. Signal we are using to carry data from source to destination. Then protocol, set of rules that should follow each and every devices in the network. Each and every devices in the network. Right. That's about data communication. Actually, the initial things about the data communication. Right. Now, time to complete our activity. I think all of you having the activity sheet open now. If not, please go to the chat box and click the link I gave that in that time. However, I am posting it again. Right. Now go to the activity. Now try to complete data communication, that slide, communication diagram, and the elements of the data communication. Try to complete that 3 slides here. And I giving 4 minutes to complete it. Try to complete it now. Right, okay, I think you finish completing the activity here. Right, now try to get the answers with me. Data transfer between what? Data transfer between. Can someone tell me the answer here?
Digital devices.
Digital devices. It's correct. Very good. Digital devices are known as what? Data communication. Data communication is defined as another way of defining the data communication. Here given the word exchange. Exchange of data between two devices via some form of what? Form of
Transmission.
network. Network channel. Some form of network channel. Then are used to carry data what? Normally what used to carry data?
Signals.
Signals. That's the correct answer. Signals are used to carry the data from one location to another location. Right. Then look at the diagram here. Now try to fill the blank. Here, source location. Here we are using workstation. Workstation as the source device. Right. Then source workstation produce digital data, digital signals, but digital signals are not be able to going through the air or network channel. Only analog signals are capable of going through the network or going through the air. Therefore, it need to convert this digital signal into analog signals. Therefore, special device use called modem. Modem is used to convert digital into analog. Right. Then source station, source examples here, some examples, computer, tab server, then what's another example? Can you remember the examples here? Computer, any digital device, smartphone. You can apply smartphone here. Right. Then under network channel, type of network, here having some type of network like wide area network or radio broadcasting system. Here you can say LAN, local area network, or Wi-Fi network system also you can consider Wi-Fi system. Then at the end, there's another blank here, protocol. Protocol we already identified the set of rules, already identified as set of rules that should follow in the each and every devices in the network. Right. That's regarding the data communication diagram. Right. Now we'll move the next slide here. Elements of data communication system. Under description, the device that generate and sends message, it is called source. Then it is the device that receive the message, that is called receiver. The network channel determine the path from source to destination. Determine the path from source to destination. Then to carry data from source to destination, use signals. Signals used to carry data from source to destination. Then protocol. is set of rules. Set of rules that should follow each and every devices in the network. Right. In that way, you can fill the blank. You can fill the blank here. Right. Actually, that is the thing we should want to discuss today. Today, we can summarize earlier in the start of the session. We discussed about communication. Then the part of communication, we identified part of communication as source, sender, message, and receiver. After that, communication categories. Under communication categories, we identified 4 categories: verbal, non-verbal, written, and visualization, like that. Then communication process. Under communication process, there are we identified important terms like encoding, decoding, and communication channel. After that, we learned about computer communication. Then we identify the difference between data communication and the computer communication also. Okay. These are the things we discussed up to now. That's the theory part I want to complete for today. Right. The rest of the time I will take for another activity. I will provide a link. Then you can click on the link. After that, you can do the activity. It's like a game. Then whatever the learn you today, all the question now consist of the things whatever the learn we today. Right. Each question having 20 seconds and 2 marks for each question also. Those who are getting highest mark then will win a winner of the game, right? After doing this activity, this game activity, then I want to discuss some past paper questions also, right? Okay, now I am going to share the game link. And before that, I am giving a, link to the chat box. Go to chat box. Now I am just posted a link, posted 2 times. Click on the link here. Right. Once you click on the link, then your screen look like that. Right. In this screen, they are asking a join code. Still, I am not giving the join code. After I giving the join code, then type this join code here. Type the join code here and click on the join button. Still not giving the join code. Now I am going to giving the join code. After I giving it, type it here. Type the join code here, then click join. After that, you can do the game. And wait until giving the join code. Wait until I am giving the join code still. Right. Now you can see here join code. I'm going to share in the chat box. Right. Go to chat box. You can see the join code there also, or you can state. You can see in the box in the screen here 8283045. Your join code is 8283045. And still joining the student for the game. Three students are already joined. Now 8, 9. Now 12 students are okay. 13. Now 17. Yeah, 55 students in the Zoom session, but 17 of you are joined here. What happened to others? Only 17 of you are joining. Yeah, the link is again. I can post it again, the link. Right, click on the link, then join code also available in the screen here. Right. Another minute I am giving you to join. Right. Okay, now 23 of you are joined here, 24. The while starting the game activity here, you can join it. Right? However, because of time problem, I am going to start. Once I click the start button here, then you can start giving answers in your computers, right? From your computers. Right, I think all of you are ready to play the game here. I'm going to click start button now. I think all of you are completed. Most of you are completed the game activity here. I think here indicate the number. Yes, 24. Together 35 of you are joined with the game. 24 of you are completed. Right. Then number 1 here ranking Virajini. Virajini is the number 1, getting 18,595 points. Then Gimhani, Sanduni, Surekshika, Chaturika, Ishu. These are the top 5 in this game. Right? Then like that, all the participants having the rank here. Right. I think all of the questions are not difficult. All questions are easy, and whatever the things we learn in today, all the questions are set using the things, whatever the things learning today. Here. Right. That's the end of game. I will share the link of this game. Then I will upload the link to your WhatsApp group today itself. Then after that you can play it again, right? No problem. Right, okay, like that we play this type of game every week. Then you want to ready for that also. In that way we can continue our lesson. Right, that before ending the today's lesson, then another thing I want to concentrate with you. That means your exam papers also. Today the first day, no problem. There are some questions we can answer for your exam papers. Right. Consider these questions here. Question number 1, 2019. Right? In that paper, in these questions, you can answer. Right? That already we learned what is communication. Right? What is communication? Then what do you mean by channel? What do you mean by channel? Right? Then think about the answers for these questions. Right? What is communication? The communication means exchange or transferring, act of transferring data from one location, one person to another person or group of person. Right? In that way, you have to define it. Here the problem is writing. You will be able to write it. Right? Therefore, practice it. Writing. You want to practice it. That I go through your papers in last semester. That much of you have in the problem is writing. Right? They are somewhat weak in writing. Therefore, you want to practice it. Right? What is communication? Then what do you mean by channel? Channel here, communication channel. What do you mean by the channel mean? Channel is a what? Things or item that used to transfer or send in the data. The way of sending the data. Right? It may be email or normal letter, normal post. Right? These are the example for channel. Right? When you are writing the answers, then first give the definition, defining it or describe it, then give some examples. That's the best way of write down the answers. Right? Always trying to explain your answer with the examples. Right? Then look at the answers here. Communication. There are many explanations available. You can write down in your own words, no problem. Right? No need to write down the exact word here, what you can understand, then convert it to your own words. However, giving some answers here, communication is the sharing. Communication is the sharing of information between different individuals. It includes the sharing of ideas, concept, imagination, behaviors, and written content. Okay, that answer is correct. Then another answer, communication is simply defined as the transfer of information from one place to another. That's also okay, simple definition. Here having another answer, a process of by which information is exchanged between individual through common system of symbols, signs, and behavior, signs or behaviors. Right, that's also okay. Right, just write down the meaning. What is communication? Act of transferring data or information between people or group of people. That's the simple way of defining communication. Then if you want to write down or you can get a screenshot of here, or otherwise I will provide all the materials, today's materials on your WhatsApp group. I think your business system WhatsApp group is still activate. I am trying to upload all the materials of today with this WhatsApp group, right? Right, then channel. What do you mean by channel? Here also giving answers, different answers. Look at these answers, go through these answers here. The first one says a communication channel is a type of medium that is used to transfer message from one person to another. Right? Verbal, email, or written. That's the way of transferring your information to the another person or another group of person. Right? You can use email. And email is the channel. Right? Or written documents. Right? Then written document is the channel. Then look at another definition here. Communication channel refer to the medium mean or method through which message is sent its intended receiver. Right? That's the same type of answer here. Then look at the last one. In the basic communication process, sender puts message in the word and transmit it to a receiver who interrupt the message. The medium the sender choose to transmit the message called communication channel. That's also okay. The communication channel is determined by the sender, the person who send in the message. He is the person who determine the required method of channel. Right? It depends on the sender's requirement. Right? There are some factors can be considered by the sender. According to these factors, the sender is determine the communication channel. It may be telephone, email, or any other form of communication channel. Right. That's the way of answering the communication channel. Right. Then look at another question. 2018 question number 1. Mostly the question number 1 is concentrate on the data communication part. That means the things we are learning today. Briefly describe 3 components of data communication. That's very easy. We learned that the early session of the today earlier. 3 components: source, network channel, and receiver. Right? then put some description for each other. When the question asking to describe, then you want to put some description, 2 or 3 line description. Right? Get the meaning of these terms. The describe mean you want to describe at least 2 or 3 lines. Describe. If you are asking to list down, that means only the just list. That, for example, suppose in this question, they are asking list down the 3 components. Then source, network channel, receiver. Okay? Only 3 components. It's enough. List down or name the 3 components. That also only need the component name. But if you are asking describing or explain, in that case, you need to explain it using 2 or 3 lines. Right? Here source means the station where generate the message. Right? Example, they are giving some examples here. Computer, smart. Every time try to give the examples. Network channel, medium that used to direct data from source to destination. Right? This time they are asking network channel, right? Not normal communication channel. That earlier explained communication channel. In 2019, that question explained communication channel, just channel. But here giving the specify that network channel. Network channel you are finding the data communication diagram. Network channel you find in the network data communication diagram. That's the network type. It may be a local area network or wide area network. Right? You will learn in detail about the network. Just to now understand, network channel mean the medium that you are using to direct your data from source to destination. The receiver mean the place or station where capture the information or receive the message. That also computer or smartphone or any digital device. Right. Yes, that's the some simple questions you can find in your question papers. We can discuss for that's relevant with the today's lesson. Okay, that's the thing I want to discuss today. Any questions or any unclear things, any doubts, you can discuss with me now. Right. Now we are reaching to end of the today's lesson. Only 47 students available. Right. 61 students was here before the break. Actually 61 students here. The attendance is very important. You will not allowed to sit the examinations if you are having low attendance. Therefore, your responsibility is maintain the proper attendance. The attendance counting using these Zoom sessions, right? Therefore, you need to appear yourself each and every duration, whole duration in the class. Right? Sometimes your attendance will take from this time. This time, if they are taking the attendance this time, mean only 47 students here. That means other 13 students are marked as absent. Therefore, your responsibility is maintain your attendance properly, right? Okay, then I think you know questions from your point of view. If you are having any question, then you can ask your WhatsApp group. Or you can call me. I think all of you are having my personal phone numbers and other email numbers. Therefore, no problem. You can contact me. Right? Okay, then I am going to stop with the session today. Thank you very much for the participation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Okay, welcome to you all.